Right now we've got a guy that started an organization called Physicians for Reform. You can actually go to a website, physiciansforreform.org. He has doctor-like information. I guess what I mean by that is I don't think I'm smart enough to have ever graduated from PhD in anything other than what the pile higher and deeper thing is supposed to be, right? But he's got information that kind of gets straight to the heart at this healthcare debate. He's been up in New York, he's been fighting folks up there, he's been, I think, all over the country talking to people about the other way of looking at healthcare. So if you will, help me welcome a practicing physician from North Carolina, Dr. Clare Gray.
Thank you. Well, it's a privilege to be here. So it's been an incredible experience to come down and spend some time with the folks that made all this happen. Can you hear me? Is that better? All right. Our president ran on the theme, change we can believe in. And indeed, the basic fabric of American culture is changing far faster than any of us would ever have imagined. We stand at a pivotal moment in American history. Hoping for change, many Americans step towards a bold new future, trusting government to solve our nation's many problems. But freedom may be the price we pay. Desiring social justice, many lust after the socialism of Europe. Many cheer the thought that government should ensure the welfare of every American. Liberty, however, is often lost amidst the applause of men. History calls Americans to remember the best of who we are. We must remember our past if liberty is to survive. We must honor our Declaration of Independence, and we must honor our Constitution. For it is the rule of law that brings true freedom to the common man. Americans enjoy the greatest freedoms on earth, but this privilege will be lost if we the people forget the truths that preserve our liberty. If we the people allow Washington to control our lives. A patient, Barbara Wagner, brought the consequences of government control home to me as a physician. After 2 years in remission, Barbara's lung cancer returned. She saw her oncologist, and he recommended aggressive treatment with Tarceva, a new chemotherapy. However, Oregon's government-run health plan denied Barbara's chemotherapy. Instead, they offered to pay for physician-assisted suicide. To Oregon, Barbara was no longer a patient. To Oregon, Barbara had become a negative economic unit. Now, some of the Tea Party people have been good enough to put together an interview with Barbara. So let's listen to her in her own words.
The Oregon Health Plan says no to chemotherapy and yes to assisted suicide. In a letter to a Eugene cancer patient, the state explains it will not cover the cost of her chemo, but it will pay for doctor-assisted suicide.
What a story. K2 Susan Hardy investigates how this one letter is raising big questions about the health plan's priorities.
Can you say hi? Huh? Yeah. Like that tail. Barbara Wagner has one wish. For more time.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready to die. I've got things I'd still like to do.
Her doctor offered hope. In this bottle, the new chemotherapy drug, Tarceva.
Like my doctor said, maybe this can put the lid on it and stop it.
That hope shattered with this letter from the Oregon Health Plan, telling her we were unable to approve the cancer treatment. It will pay for comfort care, including physician aid in dying, better known as assisted suicide.
I told him, I said, who do you guys think you are? To say that you'll pay for my dying, but you will pay to help me possibly live longer.
We took our concerns to Dr. Sam Saha, chairman of the commission that sets policy for the Oregon Health Plan. She says, to say to someone, we'll pay for you to die, but not pay for you to live, it's cruel.
I don't think anyone's saying that. That's I think maybe an unfortunate interpretation of the letter.
Assisted suicide critic Dr. William Toffler calls the message disturbing.
People deserve relief of their suffering. not giving them an overdose.
And he says the state has a financial incentive to offer death instead of life. Chemotherapy drugs like Tarceva cost $4,000 a month. Drugs for assisted suicide cost less than $100.
Is it cheaper to pay for somebody to die than to help them live?
That is not a question that we think about. We don't think about investing our healthcare dollars in that way.
Yet when thinking about patients like Barbara Wagner, Dr. Saha admits they must consider the state's limited dollars.
If we invest thousands and thousands of dollars in one person's days to weeks, yet we are taking away those dollars from someone.
So you look at averages, it's a few weeks. And that's true. It's not true for everybody. Like, some people have incredible responses.
At the Willamette Valley Cancer Center, where Wagner gets her care, the medical director says the Oregon Health Plan has not kept up with the dramatic changes in chemotherapy.
You could be denying somebody years of their life.
Absolutely, you could.
Even for those with advanced cancer, new chemotherapy drugs can extend life. Yet the Oregon Health Plan offers coverage for chemo that cures cancer, not if it can prolong a patient's life.
We're looking at today's treatment, 2008 treatment, but we're using 1993 standards. When the Oregon Health Plan was created, it was 15 years ago. And there were not all the chemotherapy drugs that there are today.
Like Tarceva, that can add years to some patients' lives.
If there is a chance, if there's any kind of a chance at all, can we try it? Instead of just saying, no, you're not worth it?
Patients who are denied coverage can appeal the decision. In Wagner's case, she appealed twice and lost both times. Her doctors contacted the pharmaceutical company, Genentech, which agreed to give her the medication without charging her. But doctors tell us that is very unusual for a company to give away such expensive medication.